there, welcome to today's episode. This is episode 6 of week 2. So, I'm a week and a half in. I'm still having tons of fun. This week I have a series of movies, 2 series of movies actually, 1 horror, 1 non-horror, and then 3 standalone films by themselves. And I watched every single one in this one. So there's none here that I didn't actually watch. Like last week I did the Friday the 13th box set, and I only watched a few out of that. And it's because I was watching other things. So I needed something that I already knew a lot about, and I've seen the Friday the 13th movie so many times. So I threw that one in last week. But this week, or this episode, I have every single movie here I've watched in the last 48 hours. So I'm just going to get off to a good start here. I'll just get off to a good start here. Talk later. So this is one I just bought. This is from Arrow Video, and this is the original Hills Have Eyes. It's a nice hard book from Arrow, collector's edition. And I had never seen this one before. I'll show you. Yeah, nice and hard. I love these hard boxes from Arrow. I wish they'd do more of them. What do we got here? So this was a first time viewing for me. It's the 4K. Does this come with a Blu-ray too, or is it just 4K? It's just the 4K. So if you don't have 4K set up, you'd want to get the Blu-ray. I believe they have both editions. There's the original art there. And they got this art on this side. Considering that's the slipcover art, I'm going to put the other art on it. It's usually the way I do it. That way you get both. Put that back in there. Hills Have Eyes. The original, this is Wes Craven, in case anybody didn't know that. Oh well, okay, I'm going to show off some of this stuff here. So it came with a whole bunch of like these nice art cards. There's a bunch of them here actually. One like that. One like that. One like that. And then we got this one here. I'm guessing these are all like poster arts from different countries, considering they're all like different languages. That's pretty cool. What else we have here? This is just an upcoming movie from them. But yeah, Wes Craven. This one feels really just grimy and dirty right from the get-go. Comes with this poster here, one side, and then you got your reverse. Got so many of these posters. It's ridiculous. I could probably fill the entire house, every square inch of every open wall space with these. It also comes with a pretty thick booklet here. What's the page number? This is 36 pages. Big, thick one. What do we got here? Just flip through quick. It's photo, and then you got, what's this? It's called Family Activities, Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. So yeah, lots of writing, which is always nice. So a nice, thick, collectible book with that. And now the movie itself. So I've never seen this in its original format, because this is the first time I've ever seen it. So first time ever watching it's on 4K. And I have to say I like this original a lot. It's really atmospheric. Like it feels kind of like the original Texas Chainsaw. Just you can feel the heat coming off these people. Just like dirty. To anybody that's seen the remake, this the remake is like, which I'm going to be talking about here in a second. The remake is, well, let's do this. I'm going to do both. So I watched both of them. The remake here and this original. The remake came out in, 2006? And the original is from 77, I want to say. 77. So yeah, I watched both of them, the original and the remake. They're almost shot by shot the exact same. So it's not like perfectly shot by shot remake, but everything that happens in the new one happens in the original as well. I should be saying that vice versa, but I'm assuming a lot of people that would be watching this have only seen the remake and not the original. So it's shot by shot. Beauty and Beast are in both. Beauty gets killed. I'm going to say this. So upon rewatching these, I realized that Beauty and Beast are actually the main characters in these movies, in my opinion. Like, especially the original. Because Beast, after they kill Beauty, and they kill her pretty early in the movie, Beast basically goes on a murdering rampage. And he's the one, the dog is the one that kills most of the people in the movie. So it's getting revenge for the kill on Beauty. So I came to believe that the humans are all just kind of side characters in these movies, and it's all about the dogs, which we'll get even more to in a minute when I talk about the next two movies I watched. But here's the thing, they're both solid. This is one where I would say the remake is better for me, because I also seen it in theaters, and I remember it being really terrifying in theaters. It's just just everything about the movie feels just wrong. Like, it's just disturbing. But because the original is pretty much the exact same movie, I would assume that people felt the exact same way about that when it came out, that it's the masterpiece. So, but I prefer the remake just because of how, I think it's more disturbing, the remake. They just go a little more R-rated, and there's scenes in the new one where the girl, like, with the guy sucking on her nipples for breast milk, and then brutally, like, rapes her and kills her, and it's so vicious. The original does it too, but it's just not as R-rated feeling. It's a little less, and the people in the new one look more gross than Michael Berryman here. That's his name, right? Michael Berryman? Yeah, Michael Berryman, who we've all seen probably in a few movies. He's in House of a Thousand Corpses, amongst some other movies. Lots of others. But yeah, this original needs to be checked out as well. Dee Wallace is in this. I think this is one of her first ever appearances in anything. Not too many other familiar faces, but she's one that you've seen before. And then in the remake, it has what's that girl's name? She's from Lost, I think. Emily DeRaven. Is that how you say that? Yeah, she's from Lost, I believe. I think that's where I've seen her. But yeah, if you want to, if you enjoy this one, then you'll definitely enjoy this one too. So they're both movies that you'd want to have in your collection. I just bought this. I had this already. This is just the unrated regular Blu-ray here from way back when it first came out. I don't even think this has gotten any new re-releases. Not positive. But if they ever give it this kind of treatment, obviously I'll get it and have it side by side. But for now, I just got to deal with that. But yeah, I would check both those out. Great movies. Well, I watched all the special features. There's a ton of special features on that original from Arrow there. It's got making ofs and long interviews with Wes Craven where he tells like his whole story that led him into even coming up with the idea. Him and what's the guy's name directed the original Friday the 13th. Sean Cunningham. Is that it? Sean Cunningham? I'm pretty sure it's Sean Cunningham. He is in these as well. Like I'm pretty sure he like co-produces or co-directs or something on Hills Have Eyes, the original. But he had lots of interviews with him. Like there's tons there. It's crazy. Now I'm gonna get to my next two. So I just bought this one as well. I had the other one, but I bought this one. And that is The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. This is also from Arrow Video. And then The Hills Have Eyes 2, the remake. There's the special features on that. But yeah, I had to pay a pretty penny for this Hills Have Eyes Part 2 remake because they, here in Canada, it was just, for some reason, it was sold out everywhere. So I ended up having to pay more than I wanted to for that movie because I heard it wasn't that good. Now I'm going to do this one first because these ones are two totally different movies here. They're not like shot-by-shot remakes. This original Hills Have Eyes Part 2, this one, this one's really hard. This one felt like an absolute mess. Like, there was a couple things I liked about it, which I'll get to in a sec, but for the most part, this movie felt so poorly written and just not a lot of effort went into it at all. It felt very just rushed, thrown together. Obviously, Wes Craven either just didn't want to do this and was obligated to, or something. I didn't watch the special features on this one, so because I didn't care that much for the movie, but it's a disaster. Like, it's basically just a bunch of people running around the desert and then just flashbacks galore. Like, there are so many flashbacks to the first movie that it's like a quarter of this movie is just scenes from the first movie, which is crazy to me. But with that said, there's one scene in particular in this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably know about this from either documentaries or something. But there is a scene where the Beast is in this movie. He comes back. Spoiler, he lives in the end of the first one. And he's back in this one. And even he has a flashback scene in this. So it literally cuts to the dog's face. And he's like, And then it does and it cuts to him remembering something from the first movie. It's just, oh man, it's brutal. That part, though, is hilarious. And it's what bumped it up for me. And, oh man, so by the time this was over, I actually liked it a little bit. But for the first half, I was like, oh man, this movie is just absolute shit. But you gotta check it out, because it does do some different stuff. It's a mess. Don't expect a lot. Don't go in thinking, ooh, this is gonna be really good. And you'll probably find some fun, but it's rough. And then we got The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. This one I actually like quite a bit. I remember not liking it the first time I had watched it. And this will be the third time I've seen this now. And it grew on me on this watch. Like, there's not a lot to love, in my opinion. But it's just a lot of fun. Like, it's just gory, disgusting, just grimy. Like, ugh. There's some kills in this that are just, they push the limits as much as they can. There's a toilet scene, like Johnny on the Spot scene in this that's just disgusting. Yeah, I'll just say there's a rape scene in this that's pretty disturbing and just makes you feel gross. But all the hill people have Really good makeup on, cosmetics. They all look creepy, look like people that you would just run in terror from if you ever seen them in real life. Just awful. But overall, like these four movies here, they're all watchable. And it's a pretty solid franchise, if you can call it that, considering they're kind of just remakes of each other. But they're all good, and I'm happy I bought those two arrows. Now I have all four of them, and can put them side by side. Now that I've watched them all together, they can go in at the top there, my collection. But yeah, give them a check, give them a watch. If you haven't seen any of those four, they'd all be worth your time to throw on and just check out. All right, next up here, this is the Ip Man quadrilogy. This is the one that stars Donnie Yen, because there's a bunch of like spin-offs that star other actors, but this is Donnie Yen's, and I have the original movie in this nice, beautiful Blu-ray steelbook that just came out not too long ago, actually. And I'm gonna show these off before I talk about them. But so I have that in the original, and then I have this 4K box set here. This is just straight up black. Got a little ding in the top here that I'm not too pleased about, but this is a beautiful box set and looks really nice on the shelf with my other martial arts box sets. Pull these out here, show you what they look like. So they just come with the four movies here. Ip Man 1, number 2, got them backwards in here. That's number 2. So number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. And this is one of my favorite, well, I shouldn't say one, this is my favorite martial arts franchise of all time. Donnie Yen does a phenomenal job as Ip Man. And, oh, what can I even say? Like, if you are not a fan of martial arts movies, if you're gonna watch one martial arts movie, I say that you need to watch the original Ip Man, because it has so much like heart and feel, and it's based off of a real guy's life, but they changed some stuff obviously to make it entertaining and not as boring. But this first movie here, the martial arts are some of the best in martial art movie history, in my opinion. I like anybody that's watched these, it shouldn't just be my opinion. If they've watched these and then they've watched tons of other martial arts movies, these are the cream of the crop for a lot of reasons. The storytelling is phenomenal. This has you sad, happy, blown away by the type of skills that are on display throughout it. Just phenomenal stuff here. One thing I do have to say is thank God that they both come with the Blu-ray, because the 4K transfer on this first movie, I don't know what they did, but it, like, I don't hate it, but it looks like a grainy old 70s martial arts film, which is cool, but it looks like it's way older than it is. Like, this is from 2006, this first one. 2006 or 2008? 2008, sorry. And honest to God, the Blu-ray looks better than the 4K. But the 4K feels like its own movie because it just looks old. It's weird. It's hard to describe. But yeah, if you have this box set, or if you don't, it's a great box set to grab. Because, like, if you're going to have one martial arts series in your collection, it should be Ip Man 1 to 4. There's a couple spin-offs with other actors as well. But yeah, number 2, geez, it's hard for me to not just talk about these like they're the greatest, some of the greatest movies of all time. This one introduces one of my classic favorite martial artists, and that's Sammo Hung. And he plays the leader of, he's like the head of all the different martial arts schools. He runs them all, basically. It's kind of like gangsterish. And there's a fight between him and Donnie Yen, and then they all turn, like there's good story plot here. They all are enemies at first, and then they turn to good guy when a, is he American? Yeah, an American boxer comes to China, and then they have to prove who, like, what fighting styles are better. And there's so much good fighting in here. It's just phenomenal work again. Like, to me, these first two are fives. 5 out of 5. And then we come to number 3. This one brings in Mike Tyson. This is a bit of a step down, but still great stuff here. Like, oh man. It's hard for me to not talk, like I just said this, but it's hard to not just do nothing but talk about how awesome these movies are, because they are. Like, all 4 of them. At the end of, is it the end of this one that they introduce Bruce Lee as a child? And I'll just move it along here. By number 4, Bruce Lee is now a man. I guess I forgot to mention that for people that don't know. Ip Man is the person that trained Bruce Lee in real life. So he's eventually becomes Bruce Lee's master. And this one has there's like Scott Adkins is in this, which is another great martial artist, and there's so much good. These are just pure martial arts films, in my opinion. If you come for the fighting, you will not be disappointed. Now here, I'll show you what it comes with. Give these movies a watch, though. I swear you will not be disappointed, especially with that first one. If you're going to watch one, watch that. What do we got here? This is a thick poster. It's like made out of some really thick stuff, but this is a big one here. Comes with the poster for the first movie, or you got the poster for the 4th movie. They're both really nice, and this is a really heavy-duty poster that's going on here. Jeez. I think my poster actually has a rip in it. A tear in the middle there. Whatever, I probably never put these things up anyway, but just nice work there. And then it comes with a really thick book. This is like tons of reading. Well, not tons, I shouldn't say that. It's lots of photo work, but lots of reading too. Tells you all about the making of the films, all that. But this is another set that, if you like martial arts, if you're a fan of action, if you're a fan of just great storytelling and just masterful pieces of art, to be honest, you will absolutely love these. And I'm pretty sure that these movies can turn a non-martial arts fan into a martial arts fan, especially the first one. Alright, let's move along here. So this next one is from the DC Animated Universe. This is the second one I've done. This is Batman Hush. In my opinion, one of the best in the DC animated movies. And the reason why I like it so much is not only does it have a great storyline, but it has like every Batman villain in this. Like, everybody makes an appearance. Scarecrow's in this, Bane's in this, Joker's in this, Harley Quinn's in this, Clayface is in this. You got Batman, Nightwing, you got Riddler, you got Hush, it's a new character, you got Poison Ivy, it's everybody makes an appearance practically. Catwoman, obviously. And then there's like a good little side love story between Bruce and Selena Kyle going on that you've seen before in other Batman movies, but it's done well in this one as well. Um, yeah, there's not much I can say about these. Like, they're short, they get to the point, and they tell great little stories. The animation's good. I like DC's style here, but they're really fun. Like in this one, if you're gonna start somewhere, that's a good starting point as well because it's top notch. It's based off an excellent comic line. So yeah, give that a check. Check out this next movie. I've had this for over a year, and I always wanted to watch people have to talk about this movie in a podcast. Like, it would have been hilarious to me to have like 4 people on and the whole episode's about this movie and you just have to keep saying it over and over again. And this one's from Scream Factory. This is so yeah, just this is 7 S's. So and I really thought was good, honestly. I put this in just because like I said, I just wanted to hear what it sounded like for someone to have to say constantly. Like, it's crazy. But like it says, this is, did I show the back? This is a snake movie. Now, there's some versions of this Scream Factory that came out, and the spine says snake at the end. But mine doesn't. Mine just is the original title here. Now, this is 1973. And it starts out pretty slow. And then it picks up at the midway point when you start to figure out what's going on and what's happening here. And this is hard because I don't want to ruin the twist, but I want to talk about it. But I don't want to ruin. I know not a lot of people have probably seen this, so I won't ruin like what's going on in the main storyline and plot. But let's just say it's along the lines of like Frankenstein-ish sort of. It's just a old man who's obsessed with snakes. We'll say that. And they use real animals throughout the movie. Like at the beginning, they put up a disclaimer that says that's real live animals and snakes were shipped in. And we want to put out this special thank you to all the crew and cast that had to work in harsh environments and stuff. So the animal cruelty is probably pretty high because these movies didn't have too many rules back then. But I mean, whatever, right? It's a product of its times. That's all there is to it. Makes it even more of a horror movie. But yeah, I would definitely give this a check. Try this one out. Like, this is another one that lands like in the middle for me, like a 2.5 out of 5. Scream Factory's pretty solid for that. Like, you're getting a lot of 2.5s, in my opinion. Now, this is my final piece for the day. And I just picked this up. This on Tuesday, actually. And this is The Departed from Martin Scorsese. This is from 2006. Winner of multiple Academy Awards. Stars Jack Nicholson, DiCaprio. Oh my God, it's just like an onslaught. You got Alec Baldwin in this, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, Vera Farmiga. The list goes on and on. It's crazy. I can't even name them all. Anthony Anderson is in this. You got a bunch of faces of people you've seen before, but you probably wouldn't know their names. Yeah, just an onslaught of cast members. So, I'm going to start out by saying that this is one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion. Like, I love everything about this. And this 4K transfer is really nice. It's probably the best the movie will ever look. It's nice and crisp. The sound is just flawless. Everything there in that department, they did a good job on this transfer. This is WB, right? Yeah, Warner Brothers. So I'm guessing this is only the 4K. Because Warner Brothers likes to just have 4K. Yes, it is. So don't buy this if you don't have the 4K setup. But I can just put this aside and I'll just talk about this movie. So it's a gangster film, obviously. It's Scorsese. But it's not your typical gangster movie. Like, it's not just a bunch of gangsters hugging each other in clubs constantly. It's a lot deeper and more complicated, and the acting from everybody involved is it's top notch. The soundtrack is phenomenal. It takes place in Boston. So you got like it would really just won me over big time. I seen this when it first came out, but this is the first watch since then, since 2006 for me. And my movie, what I like about movies has changed a lot in the last almost 2 decades. It's crazy. But I'm a huge Boston Bruins hockey fan. And they play Shipping Up to Boston, a song by Dropkick Murphys, multiple times in this movie. And every time it comes on, I'm just like, oh man, because they play that a lot during Boston's hockey games. So it just gets me pumped. But, geez, it's anybody that hasn't seen this, this is a must-watch movie. Like, it has to be a top 100 films of all time for, like, most people that have seen it. Because Scorsese just goes all out. Swearing, brutality, just uncomfortable ass scenes. You like all the characters, you hate all the characters at the same time. Like I said, the score and soundtrack's phenomenal. You get twists. Like, there's twists. Couple twists. Just dramatic scenes throughout it. I watched this morning. It's 2.5 hours because it's Scorsese. So, prepare to sit down for a lengthy period of time. But it reminded me that just how good films can actually be. Some of these just take them to new levels. A couple of years ago, Scorsese said that all the, like, Marvel movies are, like, not even films. They're, like, basically made for children. And as much as I disagree with him, I also know where he's coming from, because, like, those movies are really fun, they're really good, but when you compare them to stuff like this, they're not even films, really. Like, they're like, I don't know, like, this is just stands in its own category to me, and he has a couple like that. But yeah, this is phenomenal stuff. Anybody hasn't seen Departed needs to check it out. There's a great love triangle storyline in there. It has everything. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to do a quick show up of what I watched this week. It's a pretty good little bundle. Not this week, sorry. In the last 2 days. But yeah, there's a pretty good little bundle there. I'll try and hold that up a little closer just so you can see that nice stack of dropping them all. Yeah, these will all be going in the front of my set as recently watched. There was only, of all these, the only ones I watched I'd never seen was Hills, the original Hills, Hills 2, and, so I have to say that one more time. I've seen all the other ones before. So 3 new first-time watches for me out of that pile. And that's a great stack. Like, honestly, you could buy any movie out of this stack and you wouldn't be disappointed. They're all just some fun, some phenomenal, a couple phenomenal, some in the mid tiers. But yeah, so that's it for this week, for this episode. I got another episode coming Friday where I plan on doing a bunch of. It's gonna be pretty much all horror on Friday, but it'll be fun. I'm not gonna reveal what it is, but then starting next week, possibly Monday's episode, but starting next week at one point, I'm going to do my top physical media horror movies of 2023. It's hard to word that properly, so I'm not going to include anything I don't own. So it's going to be in order every single horror movie I own from 2023. I'm going to do them one at a time. And I'm in the middle of rewatching a big piece of them right now for the second time, just so I can give them a proper order of what I truly officially, because a lot of movies, like I already did it once on my Instagram, but a couple of them are probably going to slide up and down because I feel like all movies need 2 watches before you can properly rank them. And so I'm giving a lot of them a second watch. I'm doing that within doing other stuff. And so next week I'm going to have, it's not going to be one episode because I'll have somewhere around, like right now I have, on physical media I have about like 30, but I have 7 more coming that I ordered because I want to have it almost complete. Like I'll have an almost completed home physical media for horror of 2023. So I want to just show them off from worst to best. And it's going to be broken up into probably 3 episodes, probably, just so that my episodes don't run an hour and a half or something. I want to keep them all somewhat like between a half hour and an hour, not an episode, not a 2, because that would take me a while to go through every single one of those. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to start up next week, and I'll show you all my top picks from 2023, one at a time. Physical releases, not streaming. Streaming can go fuck itself. As much as I like streaming, if I can't own it, I don't think it deserves to be ranked in my top movies on this channel. This channel is going to be mostly, like, pretty much all about physical media, and I'm going to keep it to that. So when I do decide to do a ranking of a year of something or a ranking of a franchise, it's only going to be what I own, not whatever comes to mind, basically. So yeah, thank you for joining me for episode 6, and I'll see you hopefully on Friday for episode. Am I saying Friday? I'll see you next episode. Jeez. Thank you for joining me.